Greetings, Torchlight fans, and welcome to our Closed Alpha 3, pre-Closed Alpha 3 live stream here with the man, Tyler, Actress Project Lead, and myself, PW SoFetch, Community Manager for Perfect World. We're so excited to be here. We have so many awesome things to show you guys. We're going to be covering patch notes, we're going to be giving away keys, we're going to be talking about all sorts of fun stuff. But just to kick it off, Tyler, tell us about your hat.
My hat.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
what the people want. People want to know about the
cowboy hat. I have no hair underneath. I grew up in Oklahoma and Texas area where a lot of people wear cowboy hats, so it's one of those things that's just kind of normal to the culture I came from. But yeah, yeehaw! Let's get going.
Fantastic. All right, so why don't you just briefly give us an overview of what the players can expect from Torchlight Frontiers? What is this game all about?
So for those of you who have not been watching all of our other live streams and are familiar with the game, Torchlight Frontiers is the new online version of Torchlight. It's going to be a live service game where we'll keep updating and adding to it over time. It's going to come out first on PC and then later on consoles. And we've been working on it for a few years now. We've had some alpha tests back last November, December, and now we're getting ready to go into Alpha 3, where it's going to be a big change. We're going from Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, where we were just doing things like testing our servers, making sure that we could stand up and service a bunch of people playing, to now we're going to have the game on 24/7. The NDA is lifted. And we're going to do one last character wipe right before Alpha 3, but then we're going to do our darndest to just make sure there's no more character wipes from then on. It's a big change. It's from like, here guys, have a little taste of the game, to now the game is on. The journey has begun, and we're going to start working with and playing with our audience from now on.
Yeah, so to recap some of the preliminary details for Closed Alpha 3, we are starting Closed Alpha 3 on March 5th.
That's right, next Tuesday.
Awesome, next Tuesday. That's only a few days away, and it's super close.
Terrifyingly close.
Yeah, so we're planning to have the servers up 24/7.
Right.
Now, of course, we expect to have some kind of updates to it over the period of Closed Alpha 3, but barring any major downtimes, barring any fires in our server room, we're hoping to keep the servers on 24/7 going forward.
Absolutely.
Insane.
It's still sending out invites to people who have signed up on our website for the game. And so it's still us just picking how many people we need when, and then letting them in to help us test and improve the game. Is still an alpha.
Yep. And like you mentioned, there hopefully will be no progress wipes after this test. So we are wiping it from Closed Alpha 2 to Closed Alpha 3.
Right.
But then once you start playing on March 5th, then you should be able to keep your progress going forward.
We do that it's going to take extra work on our part to make that happen. But we are doing that because we want players to be in the game, playing all the way through the content, going to the corners of the game, working up through all the levels, and feeling confident that they're not going to lose that progress. That they're playing the game like it was live and giving us the real feedback with characters they care about and an account that they care about.
Right on. And of course, the most important thing that all the fans out there want to know is that we have lifted the NDA.
Right.
Yep, there's no more NDA, so come March 5th, once you get into the Closed Alpha, then you can start streaming, you can start taking screenshots, you can start tweeting it out, you can start making YouTube
terrifying.
videos. Yeah.
We're all so scared about this, but it's time to rip the Band-Aid off and be like, okay guys, that's it, you can start sharing it.
Yep. So it is time. The game is a real thing now.
Yes.
This is happening, and we have a bunch of cool stuff to show you guys today. So before we jump into the update notes, real quick, just want to put this link out in chat. So boom, check for Play Torchlight. There is a Gleam link in there. That is how you at home can win a Closed Alpha 3 access code. We are going to be giving out tons more codes next week, I think, or either late this week, early next week.
Don't know exact
sometime
time.
Very soon. Yeah, you should be checking your emails for a new code. But if you don't get a code through that, then you can always win a code here. So if you're watching on YouTube, then just go down to the description. We're going to have it there. If you're watching on the VOD, just check the chat right there. If you're watching live, check it right there. I'm going to put this in a couple more times. Put the link in, bam, there it is. So what this is we have an awesome partnership with SteelSeries today. They're hooking us up with a bunch of sweet swag, so we'll be showing off that a little bit later. But for now, we're going to jump into the update notes because we know people want the content.
Just to be real clear on the invite thing, if you've been invited before for any of the alpha tests, you can join in on Tuesday. You don't need another invite to be sent to you or something. You're in, come back and play.
Yes. If you are in Closed Alpha 1 or Closed Alpha 2,
Right.
then you are automatically entered into Closed Alpha 3.
Right.
And if you haven't signed up yet, definitely hit up our website, playtorchlight.com. You know, you can go there, hit the sign up for Alpha Key,
Yep.
and you can still be entered in to win a key through that method because we haven't selected everybody yet.
Absolutely.
So, all right, awesome. The peeps want to see the new stuff that's coming with the game. So let's go ahead and switch over here.
Yeah, so we've been working madly on the patch notes. Largely Paul, who's here in the room with us, has spent a lot of time trying to get all the patch notes together. There's been a few months of us working on things since the last alpha test. And this patch notes describes those new things that you'll see in Alpha 3. They're different from Alpha 2, but it is only a fraction of the work our team has been doing. Honestly, we have a lot of big and exciting projects that we've yet to announce that are not ready for you to see or hear about yet, but those will be coming in the next few weeks that we'll be able to talk about and share. Nonetheless, it's still exciting to see I believe it's like 11 pages of patch notes that we have. We're not going through all of it today. We're just going to hit some of the highlights, but there's still a lot here to talk about and look at.
There's an insane amount. I think it started off at over 100 pages of notes, and then Paul, the dude, he ended up condensing it into
Yes.
player-facing stuff so that it was easily digestible, and we have 11 pages here in front of us. This isn't final, though.
Right.
This is still very much a work in progress,
Right.
but these should be published on Monday.
Right. We
So
still
you
have
can
to get them
expect to see the whole thing.
translated and ready to go, and formatted so they're nice and easy and awesome for you to see on the website.
Yep.
Not quite there yet, but
Yeah.
we'll go through the highlights.
You will see. All right, so we're just going to kind of shotgun some of these off, and we're going to cover most of them in actual gameplay when we hop into the build,
Right.
which I think is an early version of the build that they are actually playing. It's just got a
Yes.
few things that aren't in there
Yeah.
because they didn't make a check-in.
We're still
but
doing a
this is pretty
few
much-
last-minute changes before Tuesday, but we're starting to get smaller and smaller changes, and more frightening things have to get fixed instead of just the I'd love to move that pixel to the left too. Those things we've had to stop doing that.
I already see people in chat going hype on the Yapper thing, so all right,
Yes.
let's get to it. We already kind of spoiled it.
So we talked about the NDA being lifted. We have a whole new interest thing, because previously, in the previous alphas, you would create a character and we would just dump you in town and kind of hope you find an NPC and make your way around, which honestly is also what we did for Diablo 2 and what you've seen in Torchlight. Before was a little more of an intro than this, so we've put more of an intro in. So there's now a cinematic thing that we'll show shortly, and there is a new intro sequence of fighting your way through town to the thing, and we'll show that off, and including everyone's favorite Yapper will be in there.
Absolutely. So another major thing is there's a new boss fight, Strong Tusk, which we will be showing off. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself because we tested it to make sure it works, but I haven't actually fought him yet, and it's like
It's gonna be tough.
Dude, yeah, I'm ready.
But
I'm
this
ready
is,
for it.
yeah, we have bosses all over the game that are what we call mini bosses. They're just at the end of various dungeons, but we have only a few of these that have put a ton of work in. And I've got to say, Strong Tusk has got the most effort of any boss we've ever done. It's got a lot of cool things going on. I'm excited to have players play it.
Yep. Sweet. And then we've talked about the expanded Hidden Frontier area.
Absolutely.
We showed that off a little bit in one of our previous streams, so you can see a lot more on that. And if you want to screenshot this or go back and watch the VOD later, then
There's
that's
a
fine.
lot
but
of
there's
new
a
game
lot
there.
of new stuff.
A lot
Yeah.
of game to play in the Hive, and we're not done yet. We still have more coming, but nonetheless, there's still a whole lot more than there was even in Alpha 2.
Yep. And then we also showed off the new Mapwork scrolls in the last stream, where we got a chance to play a couple Mapwork
There's
dungeons.
a
It was
good
fun.
last-minute notes of while we're making the sausage and things are happening. It's likely that the Mapwork scrolls are going to be turned off initially for Alpha 3 because there was problems, but they should be turned on. I'm hoping within the coming weeks after. We're still having to figure that out, but nonetheless, those are having. We're gonna have to pull that out of the patch notes and stuff probably too, because it's gonna come a little later.
This isn't official. This hasn't been published yet. We're just trying to spoil some
But
things.
yeah,
for all of
nonetheless,
you.
we're excited that stuff's almost ready.
it's close,
We
it's
definitely
close.
made a big change from just having a Mapwork device you click on and a portal shows up to there being these Mapwork scrolls with different known advantages and all that cool stuff is almost ready, but it wasn't quite ready, so we're turning it off this morning.
Yep. And then the Frontier leveling system, which we showed off in a stream. Really exciting new stuff.
Massive change to the game. This all came from players saying this is really how we don't want to be playing the way you had it before. Bring it something that's a little more familiar. And we have done it, and it has gone all the way up to, you can even see at the bottom, there's a new level cap at level 50. This has revolutionized how the tuning of the game works and how it feels to progress through the game.
Sweet. People telling me in chat not to cheat. Dude, it's going to happen.
And cheating's going to happen a lot. We have
I
cheat.
can't embarrass myself too much. And then, of course, the wardrobes, which is another huge piece of player feedback that we have taken and digested and integrated into the game.
Absolutely. Players were not the logistics of going from one frontier to another and managing your gear between those two really need to be addressed. The wardrobes is a big way to address that and show off your stuff inside your fort and provide a cool way to store your stuff. Super excited about it. We're going to find ways to provide alpha players 2 wardrobes, one for Duskmage, one for Forge. We'll get them to you. The logistics of that are changing by the hour, but it will happen.
Sweet. Scroll past some of this stuff, and then map and waypoints improvements, which we've hinted at before, but I don't think we've really shown anything tangible yet.
Absolutely. Like the biggest feedback we got with people clicking the feedback button and talk about things that are bothering them in the game was that the maps were not doing what they wanted them to do. We have done a lot to improve them. I'm not going to say we're done. I still think there's more we can do, but we've put a lot of effort into it, and all that was because of the feedback we got.
And the consumable inventory, which we've shown off on stream too. We showed it off on the last stream. So that's a bunch of cool stuff. We can kind of show a little bit of that later.
Yep.
But a new thing that we haven't shown or talked about before are the new offense-oriented status effects
Absolutely.
fixes.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about later about all the changes we've made to items. This is definitely one of the more visible and cool ones for giving players new strategies.
Yeah, so we can actually show this off in-game in just a few moments once we get to that point, and then the new Lucky Affix 2, which is a really cool thing. I don't know if we're going to be able to talk too much on that or show it off today, but once you get into the game, you'll be able to check these patch notes out later, and you will definitely have an opportunity when you get your hands on the game to be able to see these new affixes. Cool. And the pet items, which we also showed off a little bit of, there's the collar and 2 pet tags, so new items for the pets, sweet, and the new props and a new fort starting layout, which we can show the starting layout, which we showed the props last time, and we showed kind of the interface, and yeah, part of the new starting experience is the getting you into the fort and getting you accustomed to how you move things around.
And not starting with a big
stuff.
empty lawn of grass. There's actually stuff there. It feels like a place that's been lived in and had a history when you arrive.
Cool.
It's really cool.
And then that brings us to classes, which we are not going to show on stream. Oh, you're going to have to wait until Monday.
Yeah, there's going to be many more things in the patch notes. That's just kind of the top level highlights.
Yeah, we covered 1.5 pages here, and there's 11 pages in this document.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry folks, we're going to have to cut it there. Yeah, but we can show off some of the other things. Maybe you'll see some spoilers when we're actually in the build.
But now we're going to just show you something for the first time, something that we're super excited about. A lot of the feedback we got from players, both from our friends as they play the game and from people at Discord and other places, was that we need to have more reason why we're playing the game and what's going on in the game. We need to understand why we're here, and we need to understand more of the story. And our team really took that to heart, and we are so lucky to have a really amazing director in Danny on our team, and he is our animation director, and he he's been an Emmy-nominated director for doing work on the Clone Wars, and he's put together an intro cinematic that will take you from character create and into the game. Let's see it.
All right, roll the film.
It has been a century since the Dark Alchemist drained the elemental guardians of their power, using it to crack open the Clockwork Core and unleash the Netherim. 4 great heroes ventured deep beneath our world to defeat the Netherlord and seal the Clockwork Core using the heart of the dragon beast Ordrak. But now, the heart surges toward the edge of destruction. Ordrak's spirit pumps through the veins of Novostraya and infests the ember within. The power of the Netherim threatens the world once more. An ancient evil reborn, reinvented. Now it is up to you. Face the challenges ahead and defeat the Netherim. Will you choose fame, fortune, or the future of the frontier?
So that was the voice of Danny Keller, our animation director, who also put together the cinematic and organized it together with our art team, our own concept artists and stuff on the team. It's a work in progress. It's not done. We still have more work to do to finish it up, but at least it's doing the job. It's helping you know when we are, where we are, and what we're here to do. And we haven't talked about this much. The game Torchlight Frontiers takes place after Torchlight 2. Torchlight 2 was kind of when the Empire was starting to be built up as Ember was being discovered, and although corrupted, it was going to change the way that the whole technology in the Empire worked. And this is at the end of the Empire, as it's starting to crumble and fall, as the corruption of the Ember has come back again. And that's where we are. We're kind of in the future at the end of this Empire. And you arrive on one of the outposts on the edges of the Empire where the goblins have started taking over, and so many other forces are trying to fight back against the Empire at the Imperial outpost.
And so that leads us here, right into the new intro tutorial segment.
Right.
So yeah, that video will probably play for all of you when
Right.
you launch the game the first time. You'll load in with your first character.
Right.
You'll see the video, and then you will get this.
Yes,
So
you're now at
sweet.
the Imperial
Let's go.
outpost on fire, being attacked. Kennick, who is a destroyer from the style of one of the character classes from previous Torchlights, is here at the docks, and he's got a bum knee, so he doesn't really want to go fight.
He's getting crunk here. I see he's got some beer.
And then you get a little introduction.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
I haven't done this yet.
Yeah, so one of the big changes we made to the Dusk Mage for Alpha 3 is we actually took what used to be a passive skill, the Dark Forces. We've got Opposing Forces, is what it's called, which has these like charge up bars for light and dark magic and stuff, and we made that just kind of part of the core character again. This is how we used to have the Dusk Mage when we first envisioned this mechanic and how it was working. It was a little confusing for players. We're hoping that this little intro with this help stuff will help you understand what's going on, because it is a little complicated, but boy, it's fun to play this mechanic. And so we wanted to have that on for everybody.
Sweet. And yeah, I'm seeing some questions about Closed Alpha 3 details in chat. So yes, Closed Alpha 3 is going to be starting on March 5th. The servers will hopefully be live 24/7. If you were already in Closed Alpha 1 or 2, then you are guaranteed access into Closed Alpha 3. So, you know, it's already in ARC. So you can basically just update the game once we push the patch. And then if you haven't gotten into Closed Alpha 3, there are plenty of opportunities to get some keys. There's a link floating around in chat right there for a Gleam giveaway, which also gives you hardware, which we'll be showing off later. And we're going to be sending out a huge batch of keys either late this week or early next week, because the playtest does start on Tuesday.
Yeah, and then just to reiterate, because I'm seeing a little confusion in the chat, if you got into 1 or 2, you're in, and you might get into Alpha 3 if you've signed up, but there's no guarantee that if you've signed up, you're in Alpha 3. We're still only sending keys to a few people at a time. I hope you're lucky. Okay.
All right, the people
Here we
want
go.
this. They see it.
Yapper, the Goblin Raider, is here.
Oh my
to
God,
fight.
here he is! Oh, the whole town's on fire. Oh, okay.
It looks broken. Where are all the other
Yeah, it looks-
goblins? It's broken.
Oh, it's okay. This is just
we're at
it's okay.
Alpha
It's a
build.
death build. It's a death build. It's
It's
okay.
a death
It's all right.
build, but this is not good. So this is confirmation of a bug that we had been suspecting. That there should be a whole bunch of other goblins pouring out of
Yeah,
town, ready to
it's
fight.
usually there's a
It's
lot
not
more
just
going on
you
here.
and
but
Yapper.
you can see this is still an internal build. It's okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, we blasted Yapper. It's okay. He's donezo.
He's gone. At least we got past that.
All right, and then we talked to General Gray.
We talked to General Gray, and
She gives us a little bit of lore.
and then she takes. Then you go straight from here to your fort instead of being dumped
check it
straight into
out.
town. And then you can see your fort. I believe since you already have an account with the fort, unless you wiped your fort, which I doubt you do.
No. This one's a fresh account.
It's a fresh
so,
account.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to show.
Okay.
Yeah, 1v1 me, Yapper. Let's go. So all right, well, yeah, we stomped him, but there's usually
Bugs already. Let's see how this whole thing goes.
Hey, this looks
Oh,
good.
that works. Okay, that works. So this is the default fort. So if you just started the game and you just got your fort for the first time, this is what it's going to look like. No more big empty parking lots.
Yep.
And all the stuff that you see on there, with the exception currently of the Waypoint portal, which we might move out of the fort. We're still talking about it. And this gentleman in the corner who's the NPC who's really rude. Everything else pretty much you could pick up and put into your fort inventory and rearrange and move and change however you want. So these are a whole bunch of free things that you can now play with and arrange, and kind of gives your place some life.
Sweet. So it wants us to build an Arcanum here. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this real quick. Show you a little bit more of the intro tutorial here. There's a lot more options to turning
There's a lot more angles.
Now
Yeah,
too.
you have a little more
angles. Yeah.
fine-tuned control.
There we go. And then we can open this guy up. Purchase Luminous Run. Awesome. Cool.
Luminous Run has gotten completely changed. Just as a side note, is no longer a occasional big speed burst, but more of a very frequent way to escape a fight. It lets you run through monsters, so you can, like, if you're surrounded, you can just run out of them, and it only has a 6-second cooldown. All that courtesy of the Discord guys convincing me that we had the skill all wrong and it needed to be better, and they were totally right.
Yep.
So that's been changed.
There was a question about if you can reuse these props, and I believe you can, right? 'Cause
Oh
these
yeah,
are all props that you can
like
place.
customized for it. Pick them up, move them around. This is all yours to play with now. Once you come in, so this is all free
let's
stuff. It's
see.
kind of junky stuff. We didn't want to like give the golden chair throne of amazingness for free, but nonetheless, it is filled with a bunch of stuff that you can move around and play with.
Oh, here we go. Okay, there's a hollow tree. We have 0 stored, so let's see. Remove this. Again, it might be. Oh, there it is. Yeah,
There's all
stored.
tree, and
Sweet.
now you can place it where you
So
want.
all this is yours. It's
All is
yours,
yours
to
to play
place
with.
wherever you want.
There's
So
some
I'm just
question
gonna
here
twist
about
it.
stash tabs. Let's go and hit the stash real quick.
Sure.
I believe we're doing 3. Yes, 3 stash tabs is the initial free set of stash tabs.
Nice.
Um,
And then, of course, you have your own personal inventory stuff. All of your crafting mats are going to go into the currency tab.
Right, they don't fill up any stash space. That's those. All your currencies are shared across your account and are just right there for you to see.
Yep. And then you got the pet one, which is a secondary inventory, and you can give it to your pet so that they can run back to town and sell for you.
The classic Torchlight
Yep.
gameplay. Yeah.
Yep. Got your little buddy there to do some grocery shopping for you.
And the consumables and pets inventory. This is something that was new to Alpha 3 that we've mentioned before, but the kind of more to see here that there's a consumable section and there's a potion section. This is the only place you can keep your potions are these slots and the slot on your character that says the current potion type you're using, and that. Right now, for that regular, common Goblin Frontier style of potion gives you a potion limit of 20 potions. There are other styles of potions. We'll have them in different stack sizes. That'll be a whole mechanic you can play with. But you will not have potions filling your inventory bag anymore.
Yep, awesome. And then the consumables here, we already saw the mapwork scrolls go in there,
Yep.
and then potentially other things in the future once we
Yes.
start adding more consumables. Awesome. So I think we have a quest to go back into town. So let's see what
Yep.
it looks like now. Whoa.
This is a whole
I
new
haven't seen this.
waypoint menu. We have yet another version coming out pretty soon, but nonetheless, we've got new icons, it's got a new layout, it's a little more clear what's going on with the path, and most of all, this to me best represents just how much gameplay space there is right now in the game. You can see all these passages versus the big hubs, and these hubs have the list of other areas that are off of that hub. There's just a lot of game to play, and to give some more perspective on that, for the players who just kind of came a little bit on Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 weekend, almost all of you just stayed in those 2 icons on the left, which is Wood's Edge and the things around it, and Pathfinder's Trail. That's about as far as most players got. There's still a ton of game left just here in the Goblin Forest, and then if you
Look at how deep this goes.
and then
Like,
there's
yeah,
other
most people
and then
got
there's
to
other
these
places
two.
as well. So yeah, we'll if we get to Hive It, I'll show you the Hive It map and stuff too.
All right, cool. Yeah, this is just one frontier.
This is just
and then,
one frontier.
Yeah, this is just Goblin. And then
Yeah.
there's something similar to this for Hive It.
For Hive It, and yeah, every frontier is going to have its own big map with its own icons, its own journey through it of how you get from town to those end bosses.
Yeah, and I think most people, when they played Hive It, only did Hive It 1 or 2, right? Which both of those have been completely revamped.
Yeah.
So the rest of Hive It, like, probably nobody's seen.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
all, like, lots of fresh content for people. Tons of extra stuff. This entire path leading you down. You know, so this is
So
a
some people are
content you'll
asking
be able
about
to
the
get
UI
to.
in general. We've got a new UI artist and UX designer who's just joined the team. We're already starting to see some of the stuff that he's been able to impact the game. You might have noticed the mini map in the top right is all round now, and it feels different and more soft and cool for that. And that's one of the places he first was putting his impact, but he's still kind of working his way around the game, adding and changing a lot of things.
Yeah, there's no limit to the amount of players that can play in Alpha. There
Right.
are limits to players who you can have 4 in a party.
Right.
And there's however many per
town
zone.
and
Yeah, in
stuff.
town, in zone. But yeah, so we are sending out an X number of keys.
Right.
And then every single one of those people can
Should-
activate their key. And then also we're giving away more keys, and there's going to be plenty of other
Right,
opportunities
and people
to
who
get
played
keys.
before can come back in. So
Yeah, exactly.
like we aren't worried about the capacity stuff for as far as that goes for Alpha stuff. We're just mostly wanting you guys to show up, play, and help us understand how to make the game better.
Sweet. And then here we are, Muster Your Metal, which is the first quest that we got in Closed Alpha 1 and 2.
Right. You should be listening now to some new music from Matt Ullman, and he has created a whole bunch of new music that's in the game, both here in town and in the character select screens, and in several other places as well. Cool. Well,
Oh yeah, they can totally hear it. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
sweet. It's kind of quiet, but it's there. Awesome. Good stuff.
So let's. So we're gonna switch to the Forged.
Yep.
And I think we're going to start working
And-
through more of the
Yeah, so
pieces.
we've got a new dungeon to show
Right.
off, and we have new item affixes to show off, and also we're gonna hopefully get to the boss, and I'm hopefully not gonna embarrass myself.
That'll be awesome.
Maybe I'll do a good job there. But first, all the people are asking about how to get alpha keys. How can they enter the contest? And so let's do that real quick. While I'm loading in here.
And
Yep.
the key, and you want
Boom.
to show off SteelSeries
Yep,
stuff.
we're going
too.
to show this off. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in chat again, right quick, like this. Boom, here we go. Okay, so if you would like to be part of the giveaway, go ahead and click on that link. And it is in chat. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, then it'll be in the description below. If you're watching from a VOD, then you can just see the chat right there. So we have Torchlight Frontiers closed out with 3 keys, of course. So there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be receiving keys. However, we also have some prizes from SteelSeries. So check this out. Boom. This is one of them. They actually gave us this before. So, yours is going to be in a box, and I have that here. So this is the grand prize. Here we go. Let me make sure I can see myself here. All right, cool. So this is the SteelSeries Apex M750. It has pure performance QX2 mechanical switches. They feel really good. You can see it's also glowing behind there. Yeah, we're gonna Vanna White this for you a little bit. Yeah, it's got the whole thing is made of the durable 500 series aluminum alloy. It's got the brilliant and dynamic per key RGB lighting, which I have set up here. The top 2 rows are yellow, the second 2 are orange, the bottom are blue. We got the Torchlight Frontiers colors going there. And then this thing's awesome. It has real-time Discord lighting notifications, so you can use their SteelSeries engine software, and you can make it so that you can see when people are chatting in Discord. You can make all the things glow, and you can put GIFs on here that are scrolling past. So yeah, this keyboard's absolutely incredible. The buttons feel really nice to press. It's mechanical. So yeah, make sure you're clicking on that link, signing up, and here it is. This one will be yours potentially. And even if you don't win one of the pieces of hardware, then there's still a really good chance of you getting a key. Next up, the runner-up prize, second place, is going to be the SteelSeries Arctis 5 headset. This thing is a beast. It's got next-generation DTS version 2 surround sound, so you can hear the goblins all around you. You can hear when there's a Hyvid buzzing around, coming at you. You can hear when you get crunched by Kronk, all that good stuff. This thing also has a USB chat mix dial to balance game and chat audio. So it's got a little, right here, boom, that guy. So, if somebody's chatting to you in Discord and you don't want to hear them anymore, you can just crank them down, crank the audio up, so you're listening to your fat beats at home. All this awesome Matt Ullman music in Torchlight. And also this has the Prism color scheme here, so it glows around the outside. You can hook this up with the SteelSeries engine, so you can have coordination between your keyboard and your headset. It's awesome. Discord certified Clearcast bidirectional microphone, which is right here. It extends, so you can hide it or you can put it forward. Awesome. And finally, boom, this guy. This thing is incredible. This is the SteelSeries Rival 310 mouse. I love this thing. I have one at home. It's amazing. It's got exclusive split trigger mouse button design with the Omron 50 million click mechanical switches. 50 million clicks.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, if you're playing like action RPGs like I do, or
that's a lot of
MMOs.
clicking.
Yeah, or like MOBAs, where you got to mash. You're trying to beat someone to some loot, and you gotta hit that button. You got 50 million clicks on this
I'm not
beast.
sure I have 50 million clicks left in my hand.
And of course, it's got this nice ergonomic design here with the pure silicone side grips. So if you're like me and you got the Cheeto powder all over your fingers, you're trying to land those 360 no scopes and the mouse is slipping out of your hand. Not anymore with this. So be sure to sign up for our contest. You can win some of these amazing prizes, and also, of course, we're going to be there's 3 prizes here, 3 SteelSeries hardware prizes that you can win, and everyone who wins one of those is guaranteed to get an alpha key, and also there's a bunch of other people who are going to be winning keys. So we'll put that one more time in the chat.
Some people are wondering online whether we can deliver these things internationally.
Unfortunately, it is US only.
Okay.
Yeah, the giveaway is US only.
Sorry,
Due
guys.
to shipping issues. Yeah, sorry, folks. But you can still sign up and get a key potentially. So even if you win first, then we can
still
start
get you
giving
a
out
key.
the keys. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
no problem. It's just the
We might give you a
issues,
few
but-
extra keys if there's a shipping issue.
Yeah.
Just like, there you go. Thank you
Yeah,
for signing.
exactly. We'll give you a few extra keys. You can hook your friends up. But yeah. All right, so we are going to hop into the game now.
Awesome.
I need to cheat a little bit first. I got to do that real quick.
No worries, yeah. So we're going to look at the Forge some and do some of his gameplay. He's got some of the new melee skills for the Forge. We've one of the big things between Alpha 2 and 3 is we added new skills to each of the character classes, and the Forge really needed some more melee stuff to go with his gunfighting stuff. And the other big thing we did with the melee is give a big defensive bonus to the Forge shortly after doing a melee attack. That way, the Forge still will be a little bit more able to survive in the midst of that close combat that it's doing. One bug that's driving me a bit crazy already is that we're seeing here in the game is that the monsters, which we fixed last night, but it's not in this build.
Yeah.
Is that the monsters are just like all over you no matter what, because they don't care whether you're on the edge of the screen or whether they're right next. They're just like, hey, there's a player, let's go after him. So it's gonna feel a little more crowded, and they're gonna feel super aggro today. Yeah.
I got a nice punch robot build going here.
Got to fix in, and this won't be in the alpha, so hopefully that'll be good. But
Sweet.
nonetheless, it's going to feel a little more intense and a little more crazy with all the things all over you.
So yeah, with all those awesome new things coming to the Forge, we also have these new weapon affixes, so we can kind of show some of or item affixes, not just weapons, item affixes, so we can kind of show those off. So here's some for the shoulders. You can see there's increased bleed duration.
Right.
So we can pair that with a weapon with chance to bleed.
Right.
So it just statically increases the bleed duration by 0.7 seconds on top of the 2.7 that we're already getting from the weapon here. We also have the burn duration, which increases from burn from the weapons. And then I have a helm here with gear luck on it. That's awesome. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and equip that one right now. And then we'll start with the bleed. So
so we did a lot of changes to items, and talking about the affix changes, like we've made affix changes in many ways. One of the biggest things that we got as good feedback from Discord is hey, I don't like that when I'm looking at a weapon that it's just like some weapons come with all damage sitting on it, or I've got armor that's just sitting with a ton of just clearly better armor affixes. It means all these other things like bleed duration and chance to get health and all those things end up being worthless if really what you're saying, if you're comparing that against just a whole lot more damage. And so we restructured, rearranged how all the affixes are given out. And so things like, for instance, most weapons, one-handed weapons, will come with 2 damage affixes, and then the rest will be these kind of spice, cool other affixes like bleed duration, bleed chance, all that kind of stuff. A 2-handed weapon, I believe, might get 3 because they need to compete with, 2 hands worth of stuff. And then the other thing we did, as he's pointing out, is that the shoulders and helmet actually started to get more of those offensive affixes, so that we can put together a more full picture of a strategy. So that you can have a relic weapon that's focused on burning, a weapon you carry that's focused on burning, shoulders and helmet that are focused on burning, and hopefully eventually even more things like passive skills and other things kind of all trying to come together into one strategy across pets, across relic weapons, your actual weapon, your armor, your active skills, and your passive skills all working together in one direction. We want to open up more and more of these strategies. So that's what we did with adding these things to shoulders and helm, but we've made so many other changes too. Yep. A few more things on this patch that's around the items is we also changed which items drop when. We kind of paced some things out so they're not all there at the very beginning of the game. We changed, like I said, 2-handed weapons to being a little more effective in damage versus their one-handed counterparts when they're by themselves, because every class gets a focus as well. To increase their total damage. Because of one of the biggest changes we made is that we started giving health out with every player level. And so as you level up into Frontier, while you're in that Frontier, your health will be reflective of your level. We still are doing the whole, like, if you go from level 30 and go back and play in a level 3 area, we do nerf down your level to just above the monsters, so you're not, like, godly. But you're still getting health. And what that meant was we had to change things like how much health you get from your armor and how the rest of the tuning of the game goes. So you'll see that although you do get health from your armor, it's no longer like it previously was going up to like 200%, 300% more health. It's now still kind of in the 20s and 10s. We also went across the game and made a lot of the things that are percent chance to do a thing and made them pretty flat. So even at level 2, from level 2 to level 50, it goes up, but it doesn't go up ridiculously. Level 2 version of Chance to Bleed is still an effective, fun thing to rely on as part of your strategy, as well as when you get to level 50, being even more reliable. So a lot of numbers across all the aspects of the game got a lot of attention. Oh, and there's a
mimic.
There's a mimic.
I knew it was going to be a mimic too.
Right,
Of course.
yeah.
We're on stream. It had
Our
to be a
stream
mimic.
had to end up being a mimic. It's we still have more to do with the mimics because it still calls itself a treasure chest now, so it's a little more sneaky. But we got to get to change its name once it pops out.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. It'll happen.
Very nice. So yeah, we can see that the Forge now gets the Fighter Spirit buff, which
Yes.
is really nice. That
Yeah.
really helps you kind of get in the mix.
Right.
So you can like really make those kind of melee builds
Right.
if you want.
Right.
Or you can go with range still, or you can do a little bit of hybrid.
Right.
But yeah, the Forge has a lot of quality of life improvements, and especially the Vortex Bomb too is much faster now.
Oh,
which
yeah.
we've shown off. Yeah, we've shown that off on a couple of streams. The
Yeah, but
summoner.
we wanted
There
to
go.
make sure like that defensive bonus comes when you're doing melee stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it to be that if you're a ranged Forge, you still get all that power and tankiness. We want that tankiness to come because you're playing melee. And so you can still mix that buff is still like 6 seconds, but it's still stuff.
Sweet.
Will there be other mimics? People are asking if there's other mimics coming. We love the idea of mimics. We don't have any more to show right now. We would love to make more of them. We joke about them all the time, but I don't have any more I can talk about that are coming.
Did you see this thing pop out of this little dude? He was just like riding on it. That was great. Oh man, action RPGs are so fun.
So people are asking kind of differences between one-hand, two-handed stuff. There's a few differences between one-hand and two-hand across the game. There's the balance differences that we're trying to like make them at least on par with each other. But some of the other big differences are just the default attack for most of the two-handers are a little bit slower. You can't do it quite as often, but boy, they hit harder and they hit a wider area when you do the basic attack on the two-handers. Oh man, this is gonna be
Okay,
a mess.
I was hoping I could get out of there. Oh, I'm gonna die.
It's not
No, I'm
good.
gonna start blasting them away. My buttons aren't working. Oh no! Oh no!
A level that means
Punch
something.
robot.
Yeah, so somebody's asking about the regular attack and how that fits in the tuning. Hit the potion.
Good call.
Get out of there.
I wasn't watching my health. I was trying to get out.
Absolutely.
Hey, good
Torchlight
damage.
is a game where the regular attack matters. It's something that should vary from weapon to weapon, and it needs to be something that the tuning and balance of the game makes still important and something you want to use. So we have made sure that things like energy cost and the heat mechanic and stuff are pushed enough on the player that you can't and shouldn't just keep doing your powers over and over again, but instead you do need to work your basic attack into the mix to be optimal. And so it's very much part of how we think about the tuning and the balance of the game. You know, your vent skills have a cooldown. That means you can't just go like build up, heat, spend it relentlessly. You need to work some basic attacks in the mix. Or you can have 2 vent skills and try to make that work. But we really want to encourage the basic attacks to be part of the game because we feel like not only are they interesting and cool, but they're also just part of the heritage of Torchlight that we want to keep having going forward.
Very nice.
Does the difficulty ramp up in the game? Absolutely. Early on in the game, we keep nerfing it down and down, honestly, so that it's more and more approachable. But if you get to some of these boss fights, like we're going to see with Strong Tusk, it gets hard. I'm not going to say ridiculously hard, no one can ever do, but you need to have some pretty good equipment. And with those boss fights, we make them, I'm not going to say hardcore, but we make them where if you fail playing alone or if your whole group dies off, it starts over. You can't just like wear down that boss and zerg it to death. You actually need to beat it in one life or with a party of people working together to make it work. And so that definitely is a way that we have difficulty showing up in those accented moments against those big bosses.
And also there are the Lifebound items, right?
That's
Can
right.
we talk about those a little bit?
Absolutely. Like so, when these largely show up, occasionally you'll see a phase beast show up in the game, which is kind of a ghostly, kind of four-legged monster that if you kill it, it opens up a portal, just like classic Torchlight stuff. That'll take you to another place to play, and in these phase dungeons, you can get phasic items that are more powerful than items at that level, but they're lifebound. And when you die, that item goes away, which is yet another kind of our way of flirting with our hardcore mode, where like you're putting some at risk, but not your whole character and your whole progression at risk. Right? Someone's asking if there's any differences between the pets other than how they look. We have a lot more coming on pets. We've been working hard on pets lately. Currently, we're trying to make sure that they just look different and that's it. But we plan on doing a lot more with pets, and we'll have more details about that as they become available. But we are trying to hold on to philosophy that if you just really like the chocolate lab or whatever kind of dog or whatever kind of animal as your favorite, We want to make it where, although there's a good reason to collect and find other and do things with other pets, it's still in your best interest to you can still use whatever looking pet you want that you like. Does the higher tier loot change a lot in appearance? There's definitely he's trying to gain the treasure
I
mimics,
saw it, dude. I punched it.
Still,
I punched it.
but it still got him. The legendary items and kind of the higher level items that legendary show up more at higher
Oh my
levels
goodness.
definitely look different and definitely make you look
Keep stunning me. Yeah.
like a different kind of character as you go. And especially true when you go from frontier to frontier. There's a whole other set of looks when you go into other frontiers.
Yeah, and usually I try to make the characters look pretty, but right now we just kind of spawned whatever gear on this character. So you can see it's a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things, but the helm is clearly a goblin helm.
Right.
And then like there's the hatch right here too, that's pretty goblin-esque, and he's got a little loincloth there, a robot
with
loincloth.
furry,
that's
bony
yeah.
stuff, which is kind of the
it's
goblin shtick. Yeah.
So yeah, this is part of the goblin attire, and then you can see we just have like global shoulders on him, and like his gloves and his chest piece or whatever. And you can see a little bit of the
Answer
weapon
a
underneath.
few quick questions. Lifebound items, they do go away even if you haven't equipped them. If they're in your backpacks or if they're equipped on you, they go away. If they're in your stash back at the fort, they don't go away when you die. But if you've got them out there in the battlefield in any way, they go away. We think that the mimic chest spawning in multiples, the Russian doll mimic chest is fixed. We believe that's fixed, but hey, that's why we have alphas so people can tell us whether we really fixed things.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, but I haven't seen that in the latest
We haven't
build
seen it in a
either,
while.
so yeah.
And people are asking about whether we have transmog. We don't yet have transmog. I believe that we were biased towards doing transmog over doing costumes. If those of you understand the difference between those, but we don't have that in the game, not at all yet. And that's what I mean by cosmetic layer. That's what I mean by costumes. Our current plan is to do more about changing the appearance of an item that you have, as opposed to overriding what you're wearing. And some of the thinking behind that is we would prefer for you to be trying new things and trying on different looks as you get new items, and then making some effort to keep the look that you have, as opposed to just being kind of stuck in a single look and not really having that experimentation or that chance to look at how other things are feeling. Okay, other things. So other thing we've changed, I think, from Alpha 2 is I believe these Netherlings are not nearly as deadly as they once were. So you could go in with confidence that they're not going to slaughter you.
Oh, I think our girl Angeline's here is tanking them pretty good too.
Yeah, they're still champions or legendary. Yeah, they're still elites that you're fighting, but I don't think that they're nearly as deadly. Will there be loot explosions that fill your screens with loot? Not really. We
kind of just saw one right there.
We saw
yeah.
a bunch fall. There will be satisfying things falling, but it is not a game in which we, once you do see a bunch of stuff fall around and then leave a bunch of it behind as a consequence. Otherwise, you'd be sending your pet to town all the time to be sending it. You'd never have your pet out in the fight. And we want the loot to be meaningful. We want you to actually consider most of the things that drop as a thing you might use, and not be just filtering for, hey, did any loot drop? If not, I'm leaving. And so yeah, we're a little less loot explosion than some games, but we're still more loot explosion than like a lot of games that you see out there.
But hopefully we can kill a boss and open a chest and see some loot explosion there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh boy, there's a lot of things on screen chasing me here. I wanted to group them up, but that's a lot of things. Okay, here we go. This might be good.
Yeah. So people are still talking about. So, is there any healing or damage negating skills? So there's a lot of stuff about healing and damage negating going on here. So we've got, when he's doing melee attacks, then you're definitely giving yourself a lot more defense to do stuff. We don't have any pure healing skills going on yet. Like most of the active skills we've given are damage focused, and there's some items that have to do more with healing, and we've got to get the shaman.
I know. I'm trying to get to him.
Back.
It's scary down there. There's a bunch of elites. I gotta find him. I don't know where he is.
We don't.
Scary.
Somebody's asking about competitive leaderboarding things. We have none of those in progress right now. We're not doing anything that's like, how can I see where I stand on a leaderboard? It's not our current focus, nor the big focus of the game. It's a big PvE, go out, kill things, have fun, not necessarily am I in the top 2% kind of thing. That's where we are.
Sweet.
It's more about you running around, finding cool loot, getting excited about getting your build on and getting that. getting that great drop.
Yeah, but of course you can play with your friends too,
Yep,
and you can
absolutely.
show off your armor and your progress to them and other people out in the world that you happen upon.
Oh, you left all those greens back there? Oh, no.
Oh, I don't care about the greens. I'm only looking for blues.
Okay. Let's see. So, any other?
I'm an expensive date. I need the good stuff.
Will there be more than 2 classes? Yes, there will be more than 2 classes.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions I can answer in there? How many different classes can one have? You're going to play 1 class at a time, and we will keep adding classes over time. This is an online game. We plan to keep updating over time, but we have only put out 2 classes for Alpha 3.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about Endgame, so we've mentioned it briefly. That, of course, we increased the level cap to 50 in this build, and there are big plans for Endgame, but I'm not sure we're quite ready to talk about those just yet.
Yeah, we don't have all the pieces in play, but we are trying to create a system that keeps people playing year-round. It has good reasons why you're always wanting to play. And to us, that is part of our definition of Endgame is why do I want to keep playing this game? Why do I keep playing? And we will have more clear and concrete reasons for how that works in the future, but we're not ready to show that today. We want to have that in the game, working, ready to go before we announce and talk about it.
All
Healer
right,
class.
let's see.
People will ask me healer class. Action RPGs are often really biased towards people playing solo. A lot of players really do prefer to go up against the monsters on their own, and so you don't see a lot of pure support classes going on. You gotta open the chest.
Oh, it's scary.
No, just do it. All right.
I don't want to get this done. I don't want to get murdered by a
So
chest.
there's not a lot of focus on classes that really need to be in a party to be effective. They really need to solo well. So far we've not, we try to design our classes so they do play well on their own, but have some cool skills that do leverage and work together with others. But it's not quite the same as saying you're going to have a whole support in the healer class. It's just not a thing that I think works well in the action RPG genre, given how people go through this play.
But the Dust Mage does have a skill, right, that puts down a circle where your friends can stand in it, you can stand in it, you get buffs depending on how many people are inside the circle. So there are support type things that work based on how many people you're partied with, how many people are around the area.
We keep trying to add more skills that I think fit into that category. Somebody's asking about a console beta. We have no betas to announce on console, so I can't really tell you of any.
Yeah.
But I will say we're actively working on console, and that everything still works with a controller right now. And so we're actively working in that space, but I have no betas to announce. Sorry.
Yep.
Announce how many
I'm so
classes
dead.
the game will start with. And any chance you'll give us a hint at that number? Not really going to give you any of those hints. Start with is a really vague statement for us because this is a journey. We're going to work on this game for a while. We're going to work our way through alphas and betas and such, and we will keep adding things as we go. And we hope that you like the classes that we've got available, but we do have more we're working on, and we'll announce them as they come. These are things that we have to we hold character classes of Frontiers pretty close to the chest because these are things that take us the most work to really get in the game, from costumes to skills to animation to everything that goes into a character. It's just so much work. We like to make a big event out of it when we announce it. Let's see what else.
You are overburdened.
Any other? There's a stats. People ask if there's a stats page. There's absolutely a stats page. If you can hit, we need to clean it up. If you hit C real quick.
Yep. There we go.
There's a bunch of stuff. We think that looks messy, and we need to clean it up. But there it is. It's there. We will be doing more to make that look better. It's one of the first things our new UI artist was like, I think that needs to be better, and we will make it better. But it's there. You can see a lot of the numbers.
Sweet. So we're going to switch to a burn build here, see how that one goes.
Somebody's asking how much the game will cost. We are working towards a free-to-play game, but right now we're in alpha and we're giving away keys. Beyond that, we can't. That's what we're working on.
Yep.
So any other monetization or cost things we're not ready to talk about. Are there going to be craftable floor tiles for the fort? Great question, Action Cow. We actually have several people very passionate about our work, very passionate about how to decorate your fort. And some of us, frankly, came from Maxis and is working on The Sims and SimCity, so we're all about that creative stuff. We have been working on the next set of fort decoration things includes some floor stuff to make the floor of your fort look cool. So it's definitely a thing we want to focus on and continue giving options for. All about classic classes. Still, you're going to keep trying to ask questions about classes, and I just kind of keep telling you my philosophy about them, but I'm not going to be able to answer many more specifics about how they work or which ones are coming.
Yep. But be sure to follow our social channels because when we are ready to announce,
It'll be a
we're
big
going
deal.
to shout that out loud.
It'll
It's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah. And it's definitely been known that we have one in particular that we've been playing, and it's fun, and we're making more and more
We're all
fun.
having tons of fun with it.
We're having
yeah.
tons of fun with it, and we just can't wait for that to be announced, but that'll have to come. How's performance? There's a good question I can answer. So, in Alpha 1 and 2, when you start up the game, it just kind of started with some settings on no matter what your computer was, it just kind of went with whatever random settings, and we hadn't paid a lot of attention to it. Since then, the graphics guru, Chris Lambert, has come to help us out. He's a guy who worked with us on Hellgate London, but he's also gone on to work on things at Respawn and for Call of Duty and tons of stuff. He's amazing. He's come and helped us out, and he has done a lot to make sure that you automatically get the right settings and the right for your machine. And we've been able to see that, in fact, our game runs really nicely on, I think, about a $300 laptop without a graphics card on it, and still can get a good 20, 30 frames a second on that. So one would hope that you can, I don't know what people are hitting letters for.
I
here.
just died. They're saying F to pay their respects to me. Yeah, I got boffed. I got surrounded. I didn't have my cooldowns up. Didn't have my stun. Didn't have my escape. That's what I get. Yeah. That's what I get.
But we've been back to the performance thing. We're pretty happy with where it is. We're trying to push towards even older laptops being playable. But in general, we're happy to say that the game's very likely to run well on your machine at home. And you don't need to have a beefy graphics card or beefy PC to do it. You can even have a kind of a cruddy laptop and still be able to play this game.
Yep, and we are running on a dev build here.
Yeah.
And on like a work network on an old computer, and you can see that it's running, and we're streaming, and we have other stuff on the background.
It's all
So yeah,
going
you can
pretty
see
well.
it's running pretty well.
People are asking more about PvP stuff. It is not a focus of ours to have PvP be a fun or like central part of the game. We have done some experimentation on it. I'd say in the last few years of working on the game, I've spent probably 5 days on PvP related things. That's about it. It's kind of going to be a novelty sideshow at best. It's not really the like, here's what you're here for kind of activity. We've done some experiments. We've played some little experiment maps that I have to try out some things with it, but nothing that's like, oh wow, we've got to really run at this really hard now has come out of that yet. Any other thing?
I am much better at ranged classes in action RPGs, so it's likely that I will get popped a few more times. Okay.
Oh, let me
Here we
see
go.
what other stuff through the patch notes we haven't gotten to yet.
Oh yeah, sure. We got a lot of stuff in the
We've got
patch
a lot of
notes.
stuff to go through. So
Yeah.
we talked some about the item tuning and rebalancing. We talked some. So we're playing largely Forged here, and we're seeing kind of the new punchy, new skills, uppercut, rapid strike, and things like that. We have done some tuning across all the skills there. And we've made the vent skill a lot faster. What else? Rapid fire has less delay on it. Like some people are complaining that rapid fire, when I click, it takes a little while before it does the damage. That's now more responsive than it was before. So there's a lot of those kinds of changes around the Forge, tweaking around the edges. Progress of armor dies. We have built a system that can support armor dies. Somebody's asking about what we've done with armor dies. We have built our system where we can die armor, but we have not given tools to the player to change those dies yet. That's just not something we've worked on yet. But we do have the fundamental system ready to be able to do that kind of work.
So we are right here in front of the boss cavern, I think, and there is a cutscene too. So whenever we're ready, I'm gonna go in there.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can kill these guys first without getting
I've
bopped.
seen the cutscene. It's really cool.
There we go. Let's just
Some
take
people are
care of
asking
these guys.
about it would be a standard, continuous in seasons and things. We're not really ready to talk about any plans around the shapes of seasons or any of that stuff. It's certainly a thing we talk about and think about, but I can't really answer your question. I'm sorry. Any new ranged abilities for the Forge? No, we didn't add any new ranged abilities. We tweaked some of the ones, did some tuning on the ones that we have. But most of the focus was getting more melee stuff going.
Ooh, that was a close one, folks. I almost died right there.
And yes, the heat, and someone's asking, yes, the heat does vent faster. We felt like players were getting hit twice by bosses in the time it took to vent the heat with the starting vent skill. So we're trying to do more to make that more viable of a skill. So yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna walk in here.
We're gonna see the big
and
fight.
We're gonna see the big fight. Here we go. I have not done this yet, so I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
It's here we go. So yeah, the Strong Tusk is kind of been enslaved by the Netherim, the bad guys inside the Ember, and so he's gonna have this whole fight going back and forth between you and him and the Ember crystals. So
All right.
first time, it might be a little rough.
All right.
As any big
I think
fight should
I'm going
be.
to clear out my inventory while we wait for my loyal pet to come back. Because I'm just going to delete this stuff. This is a dummy account.
More
It
of
doesn't matter.
Danny Keller's magic of the intro cinematic, and then tons of work by all sorts of people across the team for the environment, for the monsters. It all kind of comes together with a lot of work to make these boss fights happen.
Yeah, tease that big juicy chest right there too.
Yeah, you've got
oh
the
man,
chest you gotta
so I
take.
gotta beat this boss. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it.
Let's go see what happens.
We'll see. Yep, we'll see what happens. Double health, Strong Tusk.
Oh,
he's huge.
He's a big monster,
Okay. Okay.
and he's got a big
All right.
tail in his
Yep.
attacks, but then they reach out for you there.
Okay. There's some pillars here. What happens if? Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
you gotta attack him first. First, you do a
Okay.
little dance with him, just
Okay.
you and
Yep.
him.
I want to figure out his mechanics
Yeah,
first. See what
his
he's all
his
about.
health, hit points bar, but showing the wrong number. But you know,
Okay,
we
that's
get
okay, it's okay.
this alpha.
Ooh. Okay.
So you
all right,
gotta-
okay. I got plenty of time. Yep. Here we can go punch robot on him.
Meanwhile, I answer some other questions.
Yep.
Well, someone's
figuring
asking
out
about
this fight.
achievement systems. We love achievement systems. We'd love to have those. We haven't built it yet. It'll come. We do have a designer from Marvel Heroes who did the achievements there, and so we're looking forward to having her bring her magic to our game as well. But we haven't done it. What do the item colors mean? There's different rarities of items. So there's normal, magic, rare, and legendary, and then you also have your relic weapon. Don't forget to use your relic weapon.
I will use my relic weapon. I think it's overpowered though. I think it's max level. So.
Okay. Well, no,
I'll
but it'll
use
be
that in the
nerfed down
background,
in
yeah.
this area, so it won't be too bad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it'll still be strong.
Oh, here we go. Ads.
Okay.
Yep.
He's hit far enough. and-
What?
yeah. So now Strong Tusk has gone into his invulnerable mode because Crystal thinks
Okay.
protecting
There's a
him.
beam. I feel like I have to attack this.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, you need to attack that. And by the way, there's a bunch of ads to deal with.
Yep.
Too.
I'm gonna punch robot. Go go go.
Somebody's asking about fishing. We currently don't have fishing. I'm sorry, we haven't done that. But it's funny to talk about fishing. I love talking about it, but we haven't made it. Will it be compatible with the console controller? Yes, you can play with a controller. So you can just plug in just about any controller and you can play the game. For those of you who hate mouse keyboard, we've already got the game working on controller just fine today. And if you're in the alpha, pull out that controller. I apologize, there's probably some menus in places where it's not 100% working, but as far as running around playing the game, absolutely, you've got the controller.
Okay.
Will there be sets? We have not made any item sets. I'm a little scared of item sets, to be honest with you. I don't like kind of where the end game can go with item sets if you go too much into them and make them too powerful. So we haven't built those yet. Are we going to lose progression after the alpha? Our plan is not to wipe ever again after this wipe just before Alpha 3. You'll be able to keep your characters, keep your progression, just keep playing. We want you to be playing the game for reals with characters you care about from now on.
I see Strong Tusk just hit the other goblin too. So he has no regard for anything else that's in this arena.
He's hitting things like crazy. Yeah, I don't think he can do damage to them, but boy, that thing looks like it hurts. Doesn't it?
Give him the 50.
Yeah, but this
All right,
is
there we
a
go.
big guy.
Nice.
And yeah, there. Now you get a little break from him, and now you got to dance to the pylon and the ads, and go through all these phases. Yes,
Okay.
Mage
Ooh,
of
that's not active
Empires,
anymore.
you did hear right. Our plan is to have no more wipes after Alpha 3 starts.
Yep.
Keep going. Somebody's asking what engine we made this from. This is using Unreal Engine 4. We started with that from the beginning. I've been very happy with it, I have to say. There's been a lot of cool stuff about it, especially people asking about performance and how the game runs on different machines. We've done some tweaks and stuff, but I've got to hand it to the guys at Epic. They've really made this game look beautiful from the engine standpoint. Artists have done a fabulous job with the content we've put into it, but the graphics engine part is really all on Epic. Item stocking and pet skills. We have not done anything on item sockets yet. We've talked about it. Some of our guys are very passionate about trying to get that in. And there are currently no pet skills in this build. So those aren't in the game yet. That's not a thing yet. Are we going to be updating the version of Unreal 4 in the future? We have so far been paying the price and the work to keep updating our version of Unreal as we go. We plan to keep doing that. There might be a revolt amongst my engineers at some point telling me we can't, but we so far continue to pay that tax to keep updating. We keep seeing great benefits as those updates happen. Like one of the recent benefits is our time from, hey, I think we're ready to make a build to the build is done, got cut about in half or more as we upgraded the last version of Unreal, plus a bunch of other great things we did in each version. So we'll keep trying. We use the deferred or forward renderer. Oh, look at these great technical questions. We do the deferred renderer. We don't do the forward renderer. And so far, it's been working for us even on low-end systems. I'm getting drowned out by strong touch sounds. People are saying, "Oh my goodness!"
Okay. Sorry.
I can be loud. No worries. I can be really loud.
Here we go. We're just gonna turn the music down a little bit. Okay, close.
All those
Hopefully
bars
that
need
did
to
it.
be fixed.
Okay.
Okay.
There, I think that did it. Sorry about that.
Somebody's asking, if we don't have sets, will gameplay changing uniques or legendaries that change the way skills interact? Okay, so yes, people are asking about how will uniques or legendaries really play a role in your character and your build. I think we haven't done enough yet with the legendaries, and my design team tends to agree and keep bringing it up, but we keep trying to add new legendaries that have very specific things in them that will change the way you play, and we'll try to encourage and inspire a whole new build for your character. We're adding those bit by bit, and we will keep adding more of them. I think the relic weapons specifically do a lot more towards like getting you to think of your character in a new way and having a new build. But but even those we want to lean into and do even more than we have. In fact, recently we've come to the decision that instead of just adding more and more relics for a while, we're going to actually go back and make our current relics even cooler, and so we'll be putting more effort into that in the future. Somebody's asking about deferred over forward rendering, which makes the game more responsive. You know, there's a lot of pieces to that. I think that the nice thing about deferred rendering, and boy, we're getting really graphics nerdy, but no, the nice thing about deferred rendering is you can have a lot more light sources, and that allows you to have a lot more cool, glowy stuff happen on the screen, whereas forward rendering, that ends up being pretty expensive. Our frame rate and stuff is still able to handle the deferred rendering, and so that's been good. But in general, I think we're pretty happy with how deferred rendering's worked out for us. People are asking if we're picking up any recently laid off employees. We do have one job opening that's advertised for a senior tech artist, and we will have some more job openings coming. But we're not in like a massive hiring mode right now. We're still just kind of, we still have a lot of the team that we need. Okay, so hey, people are saying they agree with our philosophy on sets. I'm glad to hear it. I still think sets are a cool thing. I'm not trying to say, hey, sets will never happen, but I do kind of don't want to put that effort in yet until we find a way that really makes it feel good and still has a good end game. Any plans for streamers, content, supporting creatives once Alpha 3 goes live? Well, I mean, the biggest part of supporting the streamers once Alpha 3 goes live is we're allowing them to have the NDA is lifted, and we're really excited to see people streaming. We would love to talk to streamers about what specific things we can do to meet their needs and get them the tools they need to do, to help keep their business going, have their stuff do a good job with our game, and we'd love to help and partner with them. I don't think we have any specific programs to announce. Is that right, Paul, about streamer stuff?
Yeah,
Not
nothing yet, but probably very soon.
But probably
Yeah.
soon. We plan to be partnering with them and helping both of us do what we need to do to make both this game successful and their streaming successful. So we would love to talk to you. Reach out to our community leaders, and we will help make things happen.
Yep. So since the NDA is being lifted for the March 5th Close Alpha 3, anybody that gets in is free to stream. So if you want to broadcast on whichever platform, doesn't matter for us, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, whatever you prefer. It doesn't matter to us.
Yeah.
We just want to see people enjoying the game and having fun and playing the game.
Absolutely.
And there will definitely be opportunities in the near future for our dedicated fans who like streaming the game, and also YouTube too, making like video content and memes. I love the
Absolutely.
memes, screenshots, comics, whatever you want.
Right.
Sweet. So I beat Strong Tusk. That was great.
Yeah, is that fun? That's great. You
Hooray!
made it.
All right, I did it.
Somebody's asking how big our team is. There are a lot of different teams working together to make Torchlight Frontiers happen. The Ectra office itself is about 35 to 37 to 40 people. We keep adding and stuff. I can't keep track. I think we're like 36 as a specific number. But we actually work with outsourcers that do art from around the world. And that whole team of people have done some amazing things that make this game what it is today. And so I'm happy and excited for them to see and be able to play what it is they've made. So we have that going on. We have a bunch of people here at Perfect World that support us in a wide range of ways, from getting the bits to you so you can actually play the game at home, to account stuff, to community stuff, and all around. And so the larger team of the game is actually much larger than that 35. But nonetheless, that 35 still is a pretty tiny team for even that task, from my experience. And we've had to be really disciplined to not grow and expand beyond that size. So yeah.
Sweet. So we are just about at the end of the stream, so
wow.
let's get some final questions in.
Okay.
If you have any questions about Closed Alpha 3, anything that we've shown today, we can just do a quick recap. Closed Alpha 3 begins on March 5th.
Right.
Insane. The servers we anticipate to be running 24/7 outside of any kind of updates that we plan, barring any major technical issues like servers catch on fire, power goes out like it did yesterday, something insane like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, we are planning on keeping the servers running 24/7.
Right.
So there will be a wipe before this test. So if you were in the first or second Closed
Right.
Alpha, then this one you'll have to start fresh. But from here on out, we're hoping not to wipe characters again. So
But-
awesome.
And you can come back. If you've been
Yeah,
in
you
it
can come
before,
back.
you can come back.
Yep, absolutely. If you were in Closed Alpha 1 or 2, then you are guaranteed access to Closed Alpha 3. We're going to be sending out a bunch of keys probably next week, either late this week or early next week before Tuesday the 5th. So be sure to check your email
and
inboxes.
I believe that won't be the last wave of keys
Yeah.
either. I believe we have other plans for other keys to go out in the future too.
And of course, we have the giveaway running right now too, which we will link in chat again right before we cut the stream. The SteelSeries giveaway, so you can win some hardware, and a bunch of people are going to be winning keys from that. What else? NDA's been lifted
Right,
from
right.
Closed Alpha 3. Yeah, so, feel free to broadcast however you feel.
Some people are asking, if we don't wipe, how are we ever going to address overpowered stuff? We've got actually some pretty good tech for changing the existing power of an affix or a skill or things like that. And I would much rather make that change and impact some existing characters than do a wipe and have people feel like they've lost their progress or lost faith that they can keep their progress. So I'm more willing to nerf an existing thing by far than have to get rid of it. Or, honestly, in some cases, you can just be the happy owner of something that was really powerful, and at higher levels, it won't be as good, but it'd still be a nice thing for you to have.
Yep.
Any other last questions you can answer for anybody? There's a lot of folks you guys ask about the key stuff. I think you've got good answers for that already out.
Yep. And we'll cover the key thing again in just a moment here. I just want to kill this guy, give you all one last chance to ask any questions about what you've seen here today or anything about Closed Alpha. Again, we will have the update notes going public on Monday.
Right.
So if you haven't already, be sure to follow our social channels, and we will have the update notes there. It'll be on our ARC blog. It'll be on the website. So there'll be a bunch of places where you can find it.
Hopefully we'll start doing some of our own streams pretty soon as well, from the Ector office and elsewhere, to just kind of be more out there, showing more of what we're doing, how we're making things. We are so excited to be starting this journey with you guys and going from kind of being in the dark for a couple months now to being back together with you, you playing the game, hearing from you on how to make it better, telling us what we can do, to what areas are awesome and what areas are ugly, so that we can together make this game awesome. And we are so thrilled and terrified of starting on Tuesday, being back together with you.
Yep. Awesome. Well, that almost does it for us. So, of course, everybody wants to know how to get a key. So here I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in chat.
One more time.
One more time. Boom, there it is. That takes you to a Gleam giveaway. So if you're looking for a Closed Alpha 3 key, definitely sign up for that giveaway. Again, we're going to be sending out a bunch of keys either late this week or early next week. So you can possibly get one through email. But if you don't happen to get one there, or if you want another one, then hit this link right here, post it again. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can check the description below. If you're watching on a VOD, then you can see the chat right there. And some of the prizes are, boom, this SteelSeries keyboard, the Apex M750. This thing is amazing. This is the grand prize. And you will get a key with this, of course. The second place prize is this, the Arctis 5 SteelSeries headset. Amazing, incredible. And finally, this beauty, the Rival 310 SteelSeries mouse. So be sure to sign up. have a chance to win a key, have a chance to win all of these wonderful one of these wonderful prizes, or all of them maybe. If you got family, you could potentially win all of them. So cool. I think that just about does it for us.
Join us in Discord. Join us on Reddit. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. We want to make this game better. Keep telling us the things that we could do better, and we will address them.
Yep, definitely. So Discord is an awesome place to hang out with us. Discord.gg/playtorchlight. Really easy to find us. We are Play Torchlight on just about everything. Be sure to follow us on our social channels. We got Twitter, Facebook, Play Torchlight.
Yep.
We have a few subreddits floating around there too. There's the Torchlight subreddit. There's Play Torchlight subreddit. There's TL Frontiers. Torchlight Frontiers, TL Frontiers. We have a bunch of subreddits, so we're always on there, and especially the Discord. Discord.gg/playtorchlight. That's a big one for us.
Awesome.
So cool. Any closing words?
Well, that's it, man.
Right
Can't
on.
wait for the new Dune journey.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and we will see you all on March 5th for Closed Alpha 3.
Awesome.
For myself and Tyler, thanks everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you in the Frontiers. Wave till we're out. Bye.
Nice.